Hello and welcome back. The tragic death of Lady Diana on August 31, 1997 in Paris was a real shock. Quickly, the British royal family had to organize his funeral. However, for the princess's brother, things had to turn out differently. Prince Charles made an offensive comment about his ex-wife Princess Diana just days after she had died in a 1997 car crash in Paris, a new book claims. Charles made the remark to Diana's brother, Charles, 9th Earl Spencer, in the days between the princess's death and her funeral, writes historian Robert Lacey in Battle of Brothers, the inside story of a family in tumult, which is excerpted exclusively in this week's People cover story. Heated discussions about the funeral arrangements had been going on between Spencer and palace officials for a few days, as Diana's brother believed his young nephews, Prince William, then 15, and Prince Harry, 12, should not walk behind their mother's coffin for the procession to Westminster Abbey. The funeral on September 6, 1997 took place just 6 days after her death. It was with amazement that the whole world learned of the tragic death of Lady Diana on August 31, 1997. The princess died following a car accident in the heart of Paris. A news that confused his many fans who gathered en masse in front of Buckingham Palace. In the face of such a tragedy, the British royal family was forced to organize a funeral worthy of the popularity of the mother of Princes William and Harry. However, during the days leading up to his funeral, many disagreements broke out, in particular between Prince Charles and the princess's brother. As People reports, it is the historian Robert who tells this anecdote in his book Lacey in Battle of Brothers, the inside story of a family in tumult. He reveals that Diana's brother absolutely did not want her nephews aged only 15 and 12 to walk behind their mother's coffin for the procession. He was convinced that Diana would have been horrified at the idea that her sons had to endure such an ordeal, wrote the historian. He had already told Charles. The call ended with the Earl hanging up on his ex-brother-in-law after Charles made a particularly offensive comment about Diana, he said. Still told. Finally, despite indications from Lady Diana's family, her funeral took place on September 6, 1997 under the conditions chosen by the royal family. Only it would seem that the princess's brother was right. 20 years after the tragedy, Prince Harry had recounted the trauma it was for him to walk behind his mother's coffin. My mother had just died and I had to walk a long time behind her coffin, surrounded by thousands of people watching me while millions of others were watching on TV. I don't think you should ask a child to do that under any circumstances. I don't think that would happen today, he said. Thanks for watching, bye and see you again.